Hi everybody, I'm so excited to be here. We are getting ready to get started and I just want to make sure that we can find everything. There we go. I really shouldn't cry, but it happens. Hey Connie, it's so good to see you. Oh gosh, okay, as you hop on, feel free to say hello and tell me where you're from. I'm so excited to see everybody. It's been a crazy day here. I started at 7 a.m. and here it is 7 p.m. and I get to take time and stamp with you. It's the best part of my job. So tonight we are going to dive into Tidings and Trimmings. And before we get started, we do have a few new people here. Hi, Shannon. And maybe some people who used to stamp a lot that are just returning to stamping. And Shannon has been waiting for me to do Christmas cards for months. So Shannon, this one's for you, girlfriend. We're going to start right at the very beginning. My name is Selene Kempton. I have been a demonstrator for 15 long years, short years. Stampin' Up! Has been a blessing to my life, and we've had the opportunity to travel to amazing places and meet all kinds of people from all over the world and develop lifelong friendships, both with team members, customers, colleagues. Some of the most caring people I've ever met are related to my Stampin' Up! Family, and I am just grateful. I went to a party 15 years ago, plus no, it was probably more like 17 years ago that I went to a party, and I bought probably $100 worth of stuff, and I put it in the closet, and there it sat till the birth of my daughter, Alexis, and then I started going to classes. My husband would work long hours, and he would get home, and I would be itching to get out the door and see other adults and go to stamp class. And then, yeah, my husband was in a wedding. He was the best man in a wedding, Michael Tupin, and we were making all the thank you notes for Michael and Lisa's wedding, and they needed 180 thank yous. So back then the kit was, I don't know, I think it was $375, but what you got fit into what I wanted. Now you get to pick whatever you want when you sign up, but back then it was kind of a big investment, but I needed so many things, it worked out perfect. And my husband suggested that this become my full-time job, and I thought, no way. And now, 15 years later, I'm here to tell you he was right. I love it, and I love all of you, and I'm grateful that you're here. So that's how I was introduced to Stampin' Up! And how I became a demonstrator. When we flip the camera, I'm going to dive into the catalog because I want to show you how the catalog is laid out. And you want to go grab me one? Go that way. And I've got a helper here to help me manage comments, because not even 5 minutes ago did every fire alarm in our two-family house go off all the way to the 3rd floor. So I was like, can you monitor comments, and if anything goes crazy, haywire, can you just like let people know? So if you're typing comments, my daughter Alexis can type back to you. All right, so let's see. We talked about why I got started. Let's jump in, and I want to show you a little bit about the catalog, okay? So I'm going to flip the camera and get you into the clip, and we're going to go through the catalog. I'm putting my hand over the camera so that I don't make anybody dizzy. And I just have to do a little adjustment here to make sure that everything is in good shape. You can see some of my stuff is already prepped and here ready to go. But if I wanted to find the Tidings and Trimmings bundle in the catalog, first I would flip to the back of the book because I know what it's called. And in the back there's an index. And I'm going to flip to page 89, so that makes it easier for me to find things and not have to bumble around. I love this one. This is probably my favorite carryover stamp set in the catalog. I have to do a class with that. So exciting. All right. So this is the Tidings of Christmas stamp set and bundle. So what you should know about the Stampin' Up! Catalog is that all of the images are 100% to size. So if you're wondering what size this image is going to be on your finished card, well, it lines up perfectly to the same size stamp unless it's otherwise noted. So this one is shown smaller, but that's the die cuts, but all of these gray images are 100% to size. Now, there's also a line. If there's more than one stamp set on a page, like this one, perfect segue. There's a line in between your images, and it tells you how many images are in that set. So if you're not sure, for example, they did a good job with this one. I would say to and from are separate with the stamp set. But if you're not sure, you can say, okay, there's 12 stamp sets. There's 12 stamps in this set. So let's see, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So the to from is actually one stamp. And if you notice, this guy, these little buggers, and this hat are all a different color. I'm hoping that you've seen this good. I know that it's kind of the same color as my background here, but this is actually a punch, and it's showing you where the punches line up. So this one's a punch, and it lines up, and it tells you how many. There's 13 in here. And these ones have framelits that line up, and it's a different color to show you which ones line up with the framelits and how they go. Pretty awesome, huh? So to get started today with our cards, you're going to need some pretty basic things. You're going to need 2 ink pads, Evening Evergreen and Sahara Sand. And I've done all the die cutting for you. So you just need the Tidings and Trimmings stamp set. I would recommend having at least a D block, but I'll tell you I used D, C, which is a little bit smaller, B, and G. Ha. Don't do that all at one time. Every time you go to buy a new stamp set, you could get 1 block, and then you'd have enough that you could just put them all on blocks like I did. But you'd want at least the D block to run this class if you're just cleaning in between. So that's a fair way to look at it. Okay, so I'm going to move this off to the side, and I need to get a stamping mat. And thank goodness I have a helper today. This is so fun. I can just say stuff and it'll appear on my table. I need a stamping mat, and I need my blue bin, wherever that went. Boy. She's like, I know what I did with that. It's helpful when the person who puts things away. So I have a little bin here, and this has all of my adhesives in it. I have liquid glue, and I have my Seal Plus adhesive, and some glue dots, and scissors, and of course, Wink of Stella. I think I put that on everything. Like hot sauce, right? Ani, I think that you would love my helper. In fact, I know that you do. Can you believe we have people all the way from Australia tonight joining us on our workshop? Hey, Daverdoo. Alexis is smiling ear to ear. And Annie Burns, how you doing? Okay. Donna, we will see you on the replay. Hey, Ann Olson and Ella. Oh, all right. I'm so excited to be here. All right, so first thing, I cut all the pieces for you for this card, right? This is where we're going. But I have to tell you, nobody's going to know if you don't paint behind the toilet. We cut this piece out of this piece to save a little bit on paper. It also makes the card a little lighter to mail. So hopefully, if I only use 1 thing of dimensionals, because in the US, as long as it's a 1/4 inch thick or less, it's only one stamp. If you put two dimensionals high on a card, then it makes it more than a 1/4 inch thick, and then you have to pay extra postage. So we're gonna keep it pretty flat, and I'm gonna move this cool star out of the way for a minute, because what I want to focus on is this guy. Okay, so I have this little sprig image. I hope that I don't have any glare there. Alexis, just keep me in check if I need to move, okay? I'm gonna leave it off to the side here. And if you notice, my mat has both a black piece of paper and a white piece of paper. If I'm trying to stamp on a die cut, I'm gonna use the black background to make it easier for my eyeball to see these aging eyes. Let's see. Thank you, Jill. She loves my toilet bowl comment. But it's true. Nobody's gonna know if you don't paint behind there. I mean, those of us that it would bother, it still bothers, but you know. So all I'm doing is I am making a background, and if you look at my card, I don't necessarily have to stamp any in the middle at all, because you're not going to see it. We're going to cover that up. So I am inking up. Now, this is a photopolymer stamp, and yay, I don't have green all over the side of my image. And that is because when I ink up, I take a look and I watch my photopolymer light up. Watch, it's gonna light up. And then I know that it has the ink on it, and I'm not gonna push down or get squishy with it. Sounds like a Will Smith thing. Don't get squishy with it. And I got an eye roll from my daughter. That was awesome. Somebody has to keep me grounded. I had a really good day. I'll explain after. So I'm a little bit high energy tonight, but this is good because I need to get my energy out with my Stampin'. So I'm going to put that to the side, and then I have this piece here that we're going to stamp. So I'll do all my stamping first. And if, for example, you don't want to stamp upside down, if you find a different sentiment, you can change it out. Cheers from our home to yours would fit. Merry and bright would fit. But I really like this, and it's so thin and pretty. I'm going to use it as another example with the photopolymer why you don't want to squish down into the ink pad and you just want to let it light up, because it comes out so pretty when you stamp it, and you just give it a second and let the ink absorb into the paper, and it doesn't come out mushy at all. And look, there's no green ink. So I didn't get too excited. I didn't push too hard. And the same thing goes with the adhesive. The new Seal Plus adhesive, I find, takes a lighter hand, and I tend to get excited when I'm doing videos and I push a little bit hard. But I'm going to start here, and I'm going to go over the top to release. So I hope you're seeing that okay in the video. I'm going to watch my own playback. Oh yes, over the top. Because then once you go over the top, now it's sticky here at the top again. And we'll go over the top, and that's what makes it so easy to use. Sometimes if I get going too fast, or if my hand gets too heavy, I have to slow down, or I can break that. It definitely can happen. And I know many of you who have had problems with it are saying, yep, she's right about that. But if you're brand new, slow your roll. Frugal crafting at its best. Well, you know, it's really more about the postage, because I have no problems cutting up my paper and using it all. All right, so what I'm doing is I'm taking this little tiny bit of glue. If you put too much, it's going to end up all over your hands. So I just put a tiny bit, and I'm going at the thicker areas. And I could have probably used one of those adhesive sheets, because that would have made it very easy. But this, you just use a little bit of liquid glue on the thicker points and get it lined up. And once it's there, whoop, commit and don't touch it for a second. You get it. It needs a second to dry. It's one of those. Gotta move my thing out of the way here. Okay. Look at my table's not too bad. this is very unusual for me when I'm live. Usually I've already made a mess. Perhaps I should prepare more often. I'm just kidding. So that's the number one thing about stamping. If you're not having fun, you're not doing it right. I am a big jokester and I cannot resist the punchline. So forgive me if I get too silly. All right, so I'm gonna take some dimensionals and stick it here. And honestly, I think I missed a spot. Use them up, we can buy more. And that's what I would say if you were in my in-person class right here in the studio. Go ahead and use more, it's fine. We'll buy more. Okay. So I'll stick this to the top with a dimensional. And then I lost my bow. It happens. There it is. And glue dots. I don't know what's going on, but some of the glue dots are backwards lately. So what I've been doing, if it ends up on the roll and not on this roll, is I've been laying it down and sticking my item to it and then going that way, because otherwise it makes me nuts that it seems to be backwards. I think there's a batch of them. I can't imagine that they did that on purpose. And so I'm just going to add a little bit of adhesive. Now you're noticing probably that I am not using that much adhesive. That's because this is the stickiest stuff ever. And there's a little bit of a break in the action. I hope that you're seeing this. There's these little minute sections that make it easy to break off. So it's not like the old fast fuse that we had to do the flick thing. The over the top works because they have this break in the action that's going to help you release the Seal Plus from the dispenser. And I'm already having trouble seeing, so I'll just flip my mat over so that I can line up 3 sides equal. This is a tip that I do in in-person classes all the time. People have trouble because they feel like they need to stick the whole thing down at once and maneuver where to find it. And I'm going to tell you, once you get your packet, if you stick just these 3 sides so that the dark green is equal on all 3 sides, the way we cut the paper, it's going to line up for you. So it's going to look right. And then we'll flip this over. I actually think Alexis cut this one for us. So thank you, Alexis, because these kits are ready to go. And then again, I can flip it over so I can see where I'm going when I put the next layer down. Really helps having that dark piece of paper on the mat as well. Okay, so that's the first project. Any questions? I'll wait a second just to make sure. How much for a kit? Oh, that's a good question. It is free with any $35 order. So up in the top of this description, it might be at the top or it might be over to the right, I put the host code link. And if you place a $35 order today, I'll send you all 4 cards, the kit, for free. So you'd need the stamps, the 2 ink pads, and at least a D block. And I think you'd be good to go. So I need to take your pick tool, Lex. Mine didn't end up back in my bucket. Somebody must have put it away for me. How kind. All right, so this is card number 2. Thank you very much. Oh, there it is. She found it. It's like magic. Don't you just love it when you can't find anything and you think somebody took it and they didn't? So she didn't put it away. It was right behind my dimensionals and I just didn't see it. Okay. I'm going to bring in the Sahara Sand ink pad next for card number 2. And I guess I can show you what the card looks like. But we're going to stamp the lighter color first. If I stamped the darker color first, we'd definitely have to clean in between. But because it's just me and you tonight, and there's nobody stamping in between us, we don't have to worry about cleaning in between. But when you're at home, do the lighter color first. and then do the darker color. Now this is another good reason not to smush. You can still see through it. And because I'm on the black paper, it makes it easier to hit that die cut, and I can actually see where I'm going. Isn't that cool? Okay. So next, I'm gonna bring in my designer paper, and I'm gonna stamp right on the designer paper. You rock for your mom, a great helper. Are the gold stars separate? The gold stars. Oh, you mean these little buggers? These are metallic pearls, and it's funny you should ask, because I was saying if you got, and I did have the package. They came, each of the kits, they come with 6 of these metallic pearls, so you can use them on your projects. But if you're spending more than $60, I'm gonna send you a full package of them with your kit. So that was a good question, and it reminded me that I can give you a little bit extra if you're ordering a little extra. Okay, so I'm gonna stamp the cheers. And you're right, there's my little pearls. These are metallic pearls. No, on the last card. The stars, nope, we have die cut all of these pieces for you. So the stars come with the kit. They are cut out of the gold foil paper. Good question, sorry I didn't understand. And by the way, keep the questions coming, because that helps me big time. All right, maybe we'll have Alexis do a raffle at the end. Wouldn't that be fun? For the most questions. Okay, so I'm just taking regular adhesive and sticking the 2 stockings together. And then inside my kit is this thing. So I'm gonna add some adhesive to the back. And yep, the star is a die cut, yep. It came out of the Tidings and Trimmings bundle, and we did all the die cutting for you. And by the way, for those that are placing orders tonight, I'm gonna send you a PDF of all the directions, and they are ready to print out with every measurement and everything I used. So I said that you definitely needed the stamp set to assemble as is, and that's because we've done all the die cutting for you. Perfect, thanks Alexis. All right, so now I am making a little loop, and I'm just using my Seal Plus. And if you don't have Seal Plus, I would recommend maybe a glue dot, and I should have, do as I say, not as I do. My directions said to do this first, and it's for good reason. We're gonna put the loops on first and then stick them together. I was answering a question and I got distracted. Here we go. It's so funny. Paying attention, I'm back. I'm back. Shout out to Alexis on the keyboard. She's rocking it. Okay, so I went a little shorter on this one, so this one I'm gonna bring down a little bit because I want them to match. Okay, so now I've got my stockings stuck together for the front of my card, and I'm gonna flip this over and add some more dimensionals. Shannon, the card kits are typically free with an order, but we could talk offline after if you'd like. All right. So cool. All right, so there's this piece, and it's got all the dimensionals loaded on the back, okay? Now I need my take your pick, and if you don't have a take your pick, you could probably just do this with a pair of scissors, but this makes it so easy. This has a little putty tip at the end, and you have to advance it when you need it, but I don't need any because it's got a little bit at the top and that's all you need. But if you advance it, back off on it a little bit so that it doesn't keep coming out on you. It does like that toothpaste tube thing. All right, and then I am going to add one of these metallic pearls to the top of each of my stockings. So cool. And like I said, for a $60 order, I'll send you a whole package of these and you get a ton. It's such a little package and they come in silver and gold. But I was very surprised at how many pearls you end up with a full package of them. They're pretty awesome. So I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive to this and attach it here. And those of you that were able to make the garden birdhouses workshop, you've already seen this. It's a die, and it comes in the die section of the book. So if you're looking for it as an embossing fuller, it's not there. It's in with the dies, and it makes this cool stitching. And I think it goes really good with the stitching on the stockings. All right, so I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive to the four corners because, again, I don't need that much. And we know we're going dark cardstock, so I'm doing that. And I'm going to marry up my three sides to make them equal. And that makes it so much easier when you're trying to put stuff down. When I do stuff in a workshop, a lot of times I'll do it multiple times, and it's good because by the third time, isn't it like by the third time you say something, people actually remember? So we'll just have another go at that, three sides equal. But we do that almost on every card, so. And now I know I put a lot of dimensionals on this, but I'm only gonna peel the four on the sides. Can you slide me that trash? I'm cleaning up as I go and everything. I'm just so relaxed tonight. This is fun. Usually when I'm live, I make a huge mess. Okay, so I'm gonna take a little bit of adhesive. Well, that was a little bit more than a little bit, but whatever. I'm getting excited again. Peaks and valleys, peaks and valleys. So this is card 2. So we stamped the lighter stocking, then we stamped the darker stocking. You gotta put your backing, like the ribbon on the back. This ribbon is so soft. It's like, I only used a little piece, but seriously, you just wanna sew it on your clothes and rub it. And then we stamped the cheers right on the designer series paper and just assembled. Isn't that pretty? And again, when you're putting your adhesive on the gold, try to make sure that it's not, that the adhesive doesn't show, because it makes that less shiny, but we did kind of good. So time to move on. Let's see. Oh, it's getting messier in here. I had to look for the packet. Oh, this one's, I was gonna say this one's my favorite, but you know what? It's my favorite until we get to the next card, and then that one will be my favorite. So I don't know. Probably need a new phrase or something. This one is actually a gift card holder. So if you look at the front, this is what it's gonna turn out like, okay? This is my front, oh, in here, for all of our eyeballs' sake. It's got a score mark, and the hump of the score mark is on the inside of the card, which is good because I always fold towards the hump, because if there's ever going to be fluff standing up, it's going to be on the side where the hump is, and that's the side that's going to have, you know what I'm saying, that stuff. So we'll just hide it in there, and the nice sharp score line is on the outside, and that's the part that we'll see, and that's why it's going to look pretty. And then I'm going to take my Seal Plus adhesive and go as far out to the edges as I can. And see, I went a little too far, so I'm just going to slide that over. And then we'll seal down the edges of our gift card holder. So any size credit card, gift card, typically will fit in this, unless it's like the vaccination card size. It's funny because you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's just a little bit bigger than what will fit in your wallet. All right. I'm such a goof. Here we go. So I'm gonna take my ribbon and put it across like this, but I'm gonna need adhesive on the back. So I'm gonna put a little bit of adhesive here and here. And I'm gonna slide it over and attach that adhesive to the front of the card, okay? This is like a peekaboo. It's the best. So you can't tell where the ribbon ends because we're gonna take this piece, oh, and look, we did it again, like Brittany. We're gonna take this piece and stick it over that, like this. And when we did this card, I'm gonna set that aside from it, but this is the inside now, right? When we did this card, we set it up so that it was embossed, and it's really pretty, but I wanted you to have a spot to put the sentiment. So I'm gonna pull in that Evening Evergreen ink pad again, and this is from the same stamp set, Tidings and Trimmings. We're gonna stamp the Merry and Bright, and did you see it light up? So cool. Makes it really easy to see where I'm going. And here we go, Merry and Bright, nice and clean. Isn't that pretty? Oh, I love the stamp set. And then, these colors too, they're so regal. The new Evening Evergreen and the Cherry Cobbler together. It's like church Christmas, just beautiful, like Christmas Eve Mass. Somebody's singing for me, I can hear you. And then I'm going to put my star on, and this is the same thing. We've die cut this star for you. It came out of the Tidings and Trimmings dies. You know what, Alexis, would you go grab those dies so that they can see what they look like? This bundle isn't that expensive either. It's $40 for the die cuts and the photopolymer stamp set, and there's 18 stamps in the photopolymer. So there's a lot of cool images. I was thinking this week I needed a birthday card from my brother-in-law, Mike. And it would be a good die cut also for something like that, because it doesn't have to be Christmas. You could do, you know, a birthday for a guy. If anybody has the catalog in front of them and sees what it's called, she's looking in my bin. They're alphabetical, so she should be able to find it. Okay, so then inside, I decided that I didn't want it to be so plain. If I were giving this as a swap, I would probably put a business card there. But this says Season's Greetings, and I'm gonna stamp this on the inside of the card, so that when whoever gets the gift card, they can have the gift card here with the Season's Greetings right here. And it's not too deep of a pocket, so the gift card will sit up nice, and you still have a ton of room to write if you want. Or if you don't care for that, you can use one of these stamps, like a big stamp, so that all you have to do is write, I have a great mother-in-law, so I can't really say it, but we call it the mother-in-law card, because you find the biggest image that you can find, you stamp it in the middle, so all you have to do is write, Love, Selene. Christmas trimming dies. C. Thank you, Ani.
Thank
you. Alexis is like, yay, Ani. You're her hero, by the way.
Okay.
Oh, look, it's right in front where the C is. Yeah, okay. That's pretty funny. All right, so I am going to take 3 more of these little dots and just sprinkle them on randomly. There's no right or wrong when you're doing this. I have people that actually have anxiety about where to put the rhinestone or where to put the gem. It's pretty. You just sprinkle them on. It doesn't have to be perfect. Oh, and thank you, Mary McKay. Thank you both. See, we should have just been monitoring the comments. Okay, so here is the designer paper that matches, and I'm putting this on the flap. So normally we would score a piece of paper just in half at 5.5 to make our card base, and then I just scored this an extra inch over to make the pocket, and now a gift card will fit in there perfectly. So what do you think so far? Pretty cool. So you guys were asking about the dies. So what did we say? It was $40.50 US, and it has 15 dies and 18 photopolymer stamps. And here's what the dies look like. We've been using them a lot, so they're just all over the place in here. But we got little stars and then dots. And then this goes with the little sprig that we used on the first card. So they're meant to cut out all these images. And then this one goes, whoop, every now and then it happens. That's why I should be closing up the ink pads. But if you look, that's the 3-petal flower. And this one goes with the sprig. And this one is a bow. Little stars. And then there's another star. There we go. That goes on the outside of that. So you can layer them up. And then this is the one we just used. Like that. And welcome to all the people that are requesting access. Alexis has got you on the keyboard. And then this is obviously the stocking, and it marries up to both stockings that we're going to use. And this is fun. Actually, I used this. Alexis, will you pull down the cards from that bingo that we did at retreat? So I'll show you another set of cards that we're not doing, but I'll give you some other ideas with it. When I first got this set, I did it with the in colors. So we'll give you some alternate ideas. This one I did with silver foil and midnight, you know. And then that's that little sprig die. Isn't that cool? And those are the dies again. And I used this with the in color shimmer vellum. And this is navy and green. And this is using 2 different in color greens. So it's using the soft succulent with the just jade together. Kind of cool. And then again, the 2 different pinks. So I was trying to mix and match the in colors, and I thought how cool that they look like when you flip one side over, that one looks more muted than the other and that they still marry up. Totally cool. All right. So, and then can't forget this one. This one is soft succulent. We're going ballistic. We're throwing blocks off the table. Anything can happen when you're live. Lexus is over here laughing. It's nice to have someone in the room that's laughing at my jokes. So if you find yourself laughing too, go ahead and give me an LOL. All right. So that brings us to the last card. It seems like we're going awful fast. I'm not usually this fast, but I think it's because everything's pre-cut, right? And this is how it is in every workshop. If you decide, like Shannon was saying, that she wanted more cards, you know, Shannon, you could host a party, and I would do the same thing for you and your friends. And when they place orders, I would send them a kit, and then you could get together and do the stamping after, you know, together. So just an idea. I know that you and your sister craft together. But I know that I can't be in your house because we're a little far away, but we could, so this is kind of interesting. It looks like the It's the Most is going one line, and then my eyes are playing tricks on me, but I'm going to try not to worry about it and just stamp it. It's pretty, but see, I did something, and there was like a piece of fuzz or something, so I got a weird line, so that's why they make the other side of the paper. If you mess up, you have the other side. And if you were here in class and you messed up, I'd probably give you another piece of paper. And if you didn't want it, I'd offer to charge you a nickel for it, because that's what we do. Okay, so I am going to stamp this straight down. And it really helps having this on the black because I'm stamping the stocking on the white. I am sort of relaxing. I'll tell you in a few minutes why it was such a great day. Like I was on cloud 9 for a while. Oh yeah, Alexis is like, Mom, you have a Starbucks right here on the table. Why don't you just take a sip? I'll wait until we flip the camera and we can enjoy coffee together. I probably should have done the background part first. Okay, so when you're assembling at home, don't do as I do, do as I say, okay? You're gonna stick yours to the card base. I got distracted talking and she said coffee and then my brain shut off. Because then you're gonna line this up to make it look like one piece of paper. So if I go too high with this, it's not gonna look right. So I'm gonna go, I have to line it up funky now. Get funky. But it'll be fine. When you're assembling at home, it's gonna be easier if you stick this piece down first. See, I did it on purpose so I could show them what not to do. You have a coffee? Well, cheers, Ani, because nobody should drink coffee alone. All right, so I said we're gonna go a little lower. And then, it's not just any coffee, so it's Starbucks. I'm enjoying that. Okay, so remember how I said that we didn't do double dimensionals because it would cost extra postage? On this card, I absolutely did. And that's my notes to myself for when I write the PDFs. The PDFs take me a long time. They're a couple hours of work anyway, and I put all of the items in there to make it easy for you to shop. Actually, I did do the shopping list on this group, so if you're looking for the exact items and the item numbers that I used, you can find them in another post on the same group. But I used dimensionals on this layer and this layer. So that's unusual for me because actually I might cheap out right here and just stick it down with regular adhesive on this layer and just pop up the stocking, because if I don't, when I go to mail this card, it's going to require extra postage and this one won't. So good information. You can make your own postage choices, right? And I hope I stuck that in the right place. I did okay. Yay. But the idea behind this one was I saw that this paper was so busy and I thought, how cool would it be to look like it was just continued? So definitely stick the bottom one first and then put this one on at the end because it'll make it easy and you can just put it wherever it ends up falling. Okay. So we've got one more loop to make. Oh, and I went the wrong way. So I guess the way it leans is important. Oh, it's so pretty though. I love this ribbon. It's so soft. Okay. Thank you for spending time with me tonight and being here live. It's been like an awesome day and this is a perfect way to end it. I very much appreciate all of you. And Arnie, like, we gotta figure out this whole travel bit so that we can see each other again, because I just miss you all terribly. Okay, so I can stick this down, and then there is one more gold dot on my table. Ta-da, and I found it. See, that's a miracle in itself. Booyah. And now, so that we don't have any more ink mishaps, I'm just gonna take care of this business right now and put the cover back on the ink pad. If you get ink pads from Stampin' Up, they tend to be a little difficult to open and close sometimes, especially if they're new. So first tip, don't squeeze. because if you're holding on because you're afraid that you won't be able to close it, you'll actually be holding it closed from side to side. So when you pull, you got to be kind of loosey-goosey. And if it's not wanting to pull for you, you can even give it a start on the other side and push. Just be careful not to stick your finger in the ink pad because that happens too. You pull all the way down and then flip it over and close it like a compact. So you open it the same way. You open it like this and all the way in. Coffee is breakfast and a Vegemite sandwich. But I would rather sip coffee through a Tim Tam. Right, Ani? Ani taught me how to do that. She brought me Tim Tams and taught me how to sip coffee through a Tim Tam. You haven't lived until you've done that. If you're lucky, you can get them at Target. Just saying. Okay, so that's all 4 projects here. Let's bring them in. And I'll start cleaning up my stamps. I want to show you the cleaner. So the cleaner used to be a short little guy like this guy. Actually, this one's really old because it has a blue label. But when I go to clean my stamps, I use my Stampin' Mist and Scrub. The new one is taller, but I keep the old one on the table and I refill the little bottle because it's just smaller and less likely for me to knock over. But the new one comes with a lot more. So if you're looking at the price and you're wondering why it's so expensive, it's not expensive. It's that you get a whole bunch. And then you just wash and dry. So this one is the wet side. It's got little drip drops. And then this one has the sun on it. So when I want to clean this, I put the whole thing in the sink and I run the water over it till it runs clear. They do sell replacement pads. I've never bought them. Ever. I've never needed one. I just run it until it runs clean. This, hang on one second. This stamp has been cleaned with the Stampin' Mist and Scrub. Okay, so inside this is a stamp cleaner and a conditioner. So sometimes when you go to put your stamps away, and here I've got my Tidings and Trimmings stamp set right here. You'll notice that my block is a wee bit pink, and it does have some of the stamp cleaner residue on it, and that can make your blocks, especially the little ones like block A, slippery, and it makes things tough to stick to them. So after a while, I'll either hit it with Windex or I'll throw it right in the dishwasher, and they come out crystal clear. So I just make sure there's no glue on them. And then I run them through the dishwasher because the conditioner should be on your stamps. It's not great on the block. So just good follow-up. So somebody asked, what's a Tim Tam? It's a cookie. It's a Australian cookie. All right, and I'm breaking up here. Chapstick will help make the pads slide easier. Oh, that's good to know. What a good tip, Diane. All right, well, I'm almost at the end of my presentation, but I'm going to flip the camera because I thought we should have a chat. Oh, that was so fun. All right, you can see my clip. It's all good. It's not a fancy production here. I have a clip, I have a stand, and I have a laptop, and I have a daughter, which is the best part. Cheers to everybody. I'm gonna have a sip of my coffee. So, we talked about if you want to place an order, I'll send you the 4 cards, the kit for the 4 cards. So you'll still need your own stamps and ink, and you'll need your own adhesives. Okay, and then if you spend $35, I'll send you that 4-card kit. If you spend $60, I'm gonna send you the $7 metallic pearls, but I'm going to send you the whole package. So you're going to get a whole bunch of them and you'll have a lifetime supply. Well, I'd say that, but I go through those so often at Christmas. They're like, because you can just put them on trees or you can color them with blends and you can, you know, sprinkle them on things with your take your pick tool. All right. So why was my day so great? So the other part of a workshop, when we talk about, because this is my job, is I got to tell you about my team. So this morning I was telling my team that if they wanted to pop in, like Pat Greger is on my team, if they wanted to pop in and see what a workshop looked like, what I would do if I was sitting across from you at the table, that they could come in and participate. So I told them that I would tell you that you should be smart like them and join our team. But let me just tell you, one of my favorite things about being a demonstrator is all the relationships that we have. And I've got about definitely over 80 people on my team from coast to coast. And this month, one of them qualified, meaning they became a qualified demonstrator, and we celebrate that. And I get to send them a card in the mail. This is like my favorite part of my job. And 4 different people promoted to their next title. Well, today, my friend Mary promoted to Silver Elite, which is really difficult to do. And she's been working her business, and she has a team, and her team has a team. And I got to invite her to the leaders group, and I called Stampin' up to make sure, because I was so excited that she could get in. And I had butterflies in my stomach because she got a cash bonus. And I was so excited to tell her that she got a cash bonus. Like, my face is getting red even talking about it. Can I just tell you, it doesn't matter for the people that are on my team, and we do business builders. We talk about what they're interested in and what they need to learn so that they can move to the next level. So we celebrated Mary today, and last week I celebrated someone who learned how to put a picture into a Word doc because she could write directions. It excites me more than anything to have this awesome community of people. So every month we swap. We have a swap coordinator, Sharon, who collects all of our addresses, and we sign up, and I make however many cards, and they make however many cards, and we mail cards to each other. So we swap. And then we have a Casing Tuesday coordinator who posts a sketch challenge for ideas. We have a Mail a Card Monday lady who posts a card that she's mailing out to remind us why we're here and to make somebody's life better, to mail them a card. Is that not the best? We have Thinking of You Thursday, and it is a true community of crafters. So one of the reasons that I had such a great day was I got to celebrate my team members, and 5 of them this month are going to get showcased at our team meeting on Sunday. These 4 cards were what I did with them for our team meeting last month. So tomorrow, or Sunday, I'll be doing the online workshop with them again. And if they want to come learn how to do a workshop, well, we'll come and do it that way. So that is one of them. I think that's like, I don't know, is that 10 reasons? You should just, if you don't have your own discount, you should just come try it, because we're a great, fun bunch of people, and we have business builders, and we have hobbyists, and they all love what they do, and I'm so grateful for every single one of them. So that's my booking talk, and my recruiting, because if you don't have a discount, don't be silly. You should. And you can hang out and at least try it out, and you can get my directions for free, and you don't need to place an order. You can place your orders yourself. So anyway, I think that's it. I love you. That's so cool. Thank you. I'm like warm now. That was exciting. Does anybody have any stamping questions for me? Because I said at the end of the night that I would just open it up to random stamping questions. So hit me. Haha. We'll say hello to Alexis for a minute. Hang on. While I'm waiting for your questions to come through. Thank you.
Hi.
She's here, like, I can't even tell you. She's been cutting paper for me. You know, nobody's perfect. She made a mistake today. She was horrified. We tossed it and we did it over, but she's been cutting paper for me, so if something isn't perfect, be sure to tell me and I'll send you a new piece of paper in the mail. It happens. But it is a family affair. My hubby helps and she helps, and they were all out here helping me stuff packets today. So no questions for me. So I did okay. So we covered everything. So you know that if you spend $35 on the host code, what's the name of that die that looks like it's embossed? Oh, that is in the supply list. Do you know what it's called, Lex? Oh, she's typing it back. What's it called?
Stitched Greenery.
Stitched Greenery, and it's in the supply list of the workshop that's here. So that's a great question. And it does. I love that it matches. It falls. It matches all of the stamps in this suite. So I had to use it again. You know, it coordinates. So I think that's everything for tonight. Well, thank you. I think it might be time to get some ice for this coffee. What do you think? All right. Well, thank you very much. I am totally grateful to have you guys a part of my stamping world. My colleagues that are here, total respect. My customers, my friends, thank you for supporting my little business and placing an order. And I can't wait to put the packets in the mail. They're all ready to go. And yeah, so say the word if I can help it with anything. If you're new to stamping, please let me know if you need help with your order, because that's what I'm here for. So if you sit down and you have a list, I would be happy to walk through. How do I get the work pad? Oh, do you mean this, the stamping mat? This is, I think it's $6. Ella, I will look this item up and I'll post the item number when we get off. I need to write that down. And the host code is good through the end of the month. So the last day to order is the 31st, and on August 1st, I'll open a new host code. I can tell you that next month's workshop is going to be using the summer silhouettes because the class is already designed and it's already prepped. So I'm very excited about that. Oh, did you find it? What is it?
It is the Stampin' Pierce mat.
Stampin' Pierce mat, item number
126199, and it is $5.
Perfect, $5. And it's just nice to have it when you're stamping with photopolymer. And what is the grab nabber tool? This is the take your pick tool. And these are, I think, 12?
I can look at it.
Yeah, and this one, okay. Next month, we're going to show different ways to use this that we haven't used before, but this is a spatula, and let's say that you stuck this down and you needed to get your card up from your card. You can slide this thing under and get it to, like, pull your card up. So, like, that's pretty sticky adhesive. Hang on, I'm looking down here. But, like, if I slide it under, I can get it to lift. And I'm much less likely to rip my paper. So then this part is the thing that's just a little bit sticky. It's not an adhesive. So it's only to help you pick stuff up, like those little tiny pearls. And like I said, you kind of forward it to get it to come out. But then if you do it too much, it's going to come out like toothpaste. So you got to back it off a little bit. I don't know what happened. It just blew up and it stopped. So hopefully the old video went to the page. Alexis went to respond to a comment, and so that's the bit about the take your pick. Oh, it's only $10. $144,107. So that's pretty cool. And you can buy extra tips for the putty end. I think that's everything. We did really good tonight. Thank you for being here again. And if you have any questions or if I can help you with your order, please let me know. Oh, how do I order it? Heather, when we get off, I can help you with your order if you want. I'll send you the link for that particular tool for sure. No problem. All right, so if you need me, buzz me, and then I will help you guys one at a time with orders, and, you know, I'll be available. And this party's going to remain open until the end of the month. So as soon as the $35 order comes through, I'll send your kit out and I'll put a PDF in your email box. So that's important to know. I email you the directions, so you got to check your email. And I use the email that you use to order with for that. And then I will put a U.S. Postal Service mail package in with the 4 projects and the little embellishments and everything that comes with. So, all right. So awesome. Thank you very much for being here tonight, and I will see you next time.